Welcome to all. Myself, Dr. K. Sujata, Assistant Professor of Mathematics, Government Degree College, Kukatpalli. Today I am going to explain about orthonormal sets. In this topic, we will discuss mainly orthogonal projection, orthonormal sets, and orthonormal bases. These three subtopics we will discuss now. What is orthogonal projection in inner product spaces? Already in previous lecture, I told what is the inner product space, how to define the inner product space, what are the examples of inner product space. Now continue that lecture. I will explain today orthogonal projection in inner product spaces. Let U and V be the two vectors in an inner product space V such that V not equal to 0, then the orthogonal projection of U onto V is given by orthogonal projection of U onto V can be defined projection U onto V. V can be represented as a suffix is equal to inner product of U comma V by inner product of V comma V into V. This is called as a orthogonal projection in inner product spaces. We take the two vectors in inner product space V such that V must be not equal to 0. Then the orthogonal projection of U onto V is given by projection of U onto V represented as this symbol, and it is defined as the inner product of U comma V divided by inner product of V comma V into V. Here, see, V is a unit vector. If V is a unit vector, then the inner product of V comma V is equal to, by the definition of the inner product space, inner product of V comma V is equal to norm V whole square, that is equal to 1. Because of V is a unit vector, sorry, here a unit vector, this one, norm V whole square is equal to 1. The formula for the orthogonal projection of U onto V takes the following simple form. Because of the inner product of V is equal to 1, that's why the denominator is 1, then the projection of U onto V can be defined as inner product of U comma V into V. Simple, this is called as the orthogonal projection of U onto V when V is a unit vector. Here this is the unit vector. This is the definition of the orthogonal projection in inner product spaces. These are the important definition we have to remember. Mainly, the formula is projection of orthogonal projection of U onto V represented like this. Therefore, it is equal to inner product of U comma V by inner product of V comma V into V. V is the unit vector. Then norm V whole square is equal to 1. Therefore, the orthogonal projection of U onto V defined as inner product of U comma V into V. Now let us discuss about the example. Finding an orthogonal projection in R cube. Use the Euclidean inner product in R cube to find the orthogonal projection of U onto V. U is a vector given as 6 to 4 coordinates. V is equal to 1 to 0 components. Now, first find the inner product of U comma V. Therefore, 6 into 1 plus 2 into 2 plus 4 into 0. That is equal to 6 plus 4, 10 plus 0, 10. Inner product of V comma V, 1 square, norm V whole square. That's why 1 square plus 2 square plus 0 square, that is equal to 1 plus 4 plus 0, that is equal to 5. Now find the, using the formula of orthogonal projection. What is the formula? See here, projection of orthogonal projection of U onto V is equal to inner product of u comma v by inner product of v comma v into v. Therefore, here inner product of u comma v is equal to this one 10. Inner product of v comma v is equal to 5. Therefore, projection of u onto v is equal to inner product of u comma v by inner product of v comma v into v. That is 10 by 5 into 120. So now 10 by 5 means 2, 2, 4, 0. This is the orthogonal projection of the vector u onto the vector v. This is the simple way to find the orthogonal projection in R-cube. It is easy to find to find out the inner product of u comma v and find the inner product of v comma v. The two values substitute in the formula orthogonal projection u onto v. That is the formula you is taking. Therefore, we get the answer, that is 2 comma 4 comma 0. U minus projection of orthogonal projection u onto v is equal to, what is u? 6 to 4 minus 240 is equal to, subtract this 6 minus 2 4, 2 minus 4 minus 2, 4 minus 4, 4 minus 0 4 is orthogonal to v. U minus v, u minus projection, orthogonal projection u onto v is always orthogonal to v vector. Next, now let us discuss about the theorem related to orthogonal projection and distance. What is the statement of the theorem? Let u and v be two vectors in inner product space V such that v is not equal to 0, then distance of u comma orthogonal projection u onto v is less than d of u comma v, u comma cv, where c is not equal to inner product of u comma v by inner product of v comma v. So it is always because of u comma projection of orthogonal projection u onto v is always less than the distance between u and cv vectors. This is the statement of the theorem. We can use somewhere this one. Now, what orthonormal basis? Before going to the orthonormal basis, first, what is the orthogonal set? How to define the orthogonal vectors? What are the orthogonal vectors? In previous lecture already I told, if u and v are the two vectors, u dot v is equal to 0, then the vectors are said to be orthogonal vectors. Now define the orthogonal set of vectors. Orthogonal set of vectors means, that is inner product of u dot v. U comma v is called as a 0. Then we say that the two vectors are said to be orthogonal vectors. Here, before defining the orthonormal basis, first define the orthogonal set of vectors. A set S of vectors in an inner product space V is called an orthogonal set if every pair of vectors in the set is orthogonal. That means the set of vectors is said to be an orthogonal set of vectors if every pair of vectors in the set must be orthogonal. So let us take the S is equal to V1, V2, so on, Vn is subset of R equal to V. See the every pair of vectors. Every pair of vectors means generally we take the Vi, Vj where I is not equal to j. Therefore, Vi comma Vj inner product is equal to 0. Then every pair of set of vectors in the set must be orthogonal. Then the set is called as a orthogonal set of vectors. If, for example, V1, V2, inner product of V1, V2 must be 0, V2, V3, V4, V5, like this. So we have to take any number of pair of vectors, that all the pair of vectors must be inner product will be 0. Then every pair of vectors in the set must be orthogonal. Then we say that the set is said to be S is called as a orthogonal set of vectors. This is mainly you have to remember here. Every pair, that means every two vectors you have to choose in that set, that must be zero, inner product must be zero. Then we say that the set must be is called as a orthogonal set of vectors. This is the definition of the orthogonal set of vectors. Now let us define the orthonormal definition. An orthogonal set in which each vector is a unit is called orthonormal vector. First, before defining the orthonormal set, first define the orthogonal. Orthogonal vectors means the inner product of the two vectors will be zero. Then we say that the two vectors set to be orthogonal vectors. Now define the orthogonal set. Orthogonal set means a set of vectors and inner product space V is called orthogonal set if every pair of vectors in the set is said to be orthogonal. That means the inner product will be zero, every pair of vectors. That means generally we take Vi, Vj, inner product equal to 0. When I not equal to j, then we say that this is called as a orthogonal set of vectors. Coming to the orthonormal definition. An orthogonal set in which each vector is a unit vector. Each vector must be a unit vector. The length of the vector must be 1. Then the orthogonal set is called as a orthonormal set. This is important definition, compulsory. We have to remember. See here, an orthogonal set in which each vector must be a unit vector. The length must be 1 is called orthonormal set. S equal to V1, V2, so on, Vn, subset of R equal to V. Vi comma Vj, inner product of Vi comma Vj is equal to, when I equal to j, it must be 1. When I not equal to j, it will be 0. Then the set S is called as a orthonormal set. Mainly here, two conditions it is satisfies. One is when I not equal to j, the inner product will be 0. When I equal to j, the inner product will be 1. Because each vector is a unit vector, then the inner product will be 1. That means I equal to j. When I is not equal to j, it will be 0. Then the set S is called as a orthonormal set. Before, orthonormal set means it is an orthogonal set, and in each way in which each vector must be a unit vector, then it is called as a orthonormal set. Are you clear, all of you? Here, very important this one. Orthogonal set means every pair of vectors in the set are said to be orthogonal. Orthonormal set means an orthogonal set in which each vector should be a unit vector is called orthonormal vector. If S is a basis, then it is called orthogonal basis or orthonormal basis. If S is already basis, then it is called as a orthogonal basis or orthonormal basis. So this is the main important point. A set of vectors, yes, in an inner product space is called as an orthogonal set if every pair of vectors set is said to be orthogonal. Orthonormal set means an orthonormal set in which each vector is a unit vector, then it is called as a orthonormal vector. If S is a basis, then it is called as a orthogonal basis or an orthonormal basis. Now let us discuss about the normal basis, orthonormal basis. How to define the orthonormal basis by taking one example. Show that the following set is an orthonormal basis. S equal to 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2, 0, that is V1 vector, minus root 2 by 6, root 2 by 6, 2 root 2 by 3, that is V2, 2 by 3, minus 2 by 3, 1 by 3, that is V3. Now we have to show that the S is a forms an orthonormal basis. To form it is an orthonormal basis, first it must be an orthogonal set, and in which set each vector should be a unit vector. These two conditions satisfied by the any set, then the set is called as a orthonormal basis. To solve this problem, to prove this one, first we have to show that A and every pair of vectors should be orthogonal. So how many vectors are given in the set S? V1, V2, V3. That means three vectors are given. Now show that the three vectors are said to be mutually orthogonal. Every pair of vectors, that means V1, V2, V2, V3, V1, V3. They are orthogonal. Then we say that the set S is called as a orthogonal set. Already I defined that definition. Orthogonal set means a set S is called as a orthogonal set if every pair of vectors it should be orthogonal. Show that the three vectors are mutually orthogonal. See V1 dot V2. That means inner product of V1 comma V2 can be represented as a V1 dot V2. That means now multiply these two in dot product of these two vectors. 1 by root 2 dot minus 2 root by 6. That is minus root 2 by 2 root 6 6 root 2, that is root 2 cancel, minus 1 by 6. 1 by root 2 into root 2 by 6, that is 1 by 6. 0 into anything, 0. That is 0. Here see V1 dot V2. Similarly, find the V1 dot V3. Here also getting same 0. 2 by, see here, 1 by root 2, 2 by 3. That is 2 by 3 root 2. 1 by root 2 minus 2 by 3. That is minus 2 by 3 root 2. 0 into this one, 0. See here plus term, negative term, therefore it will be 0. Now another pair of vectors we have to take in dot product V2 dot V3. See here V2 dot V3 minus root 2 by 6 into 2 by 3. Cancel chase, so we can get the minus root 2 by 9. Similarly here getting the minus root 2 by 9. Already here 2 root 3 by 3 into 1 by 3. That is 2 root 2 by 9. So by adding these two, we can get the minus 2 root 2 by 9 plus 2 root 2 by 9, that is equal to 0. See here, every pair of set of vectors in S are orthogonal because of the dot product will be 0. Every pair of the possible pair of V1 dot V2, V2 dot V3, V1 dot V3 all should be 0. Then we say that S forms a orthogonal set. Now to prove that orthonormal set. Orthonormal set means first it is a every vector in the orthogonal set should be unit vector. So now show that each vector of is of length 1. So to find the length of the each vector, norm V1. Norm V1 means square root of inner product of V1 comma V2. That is 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2, 0. That is 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2, that is 1. Norm V2. Square root of V2 dot V2. 2 by 36 plus 2 by 36 plus 8 by 9. That is equal to 4 by 36. 4 nines are 1 by 9 plus 8 by 9, that is equal to 9 by 9, that is equal to 1. Norm V3 is equal to root of V3 dot V3. 4 by 9 plus 4 by 9 plus 1 by 9. See here, 4 by 9 plus 4 by 9 plus 1 by 9. That is norm V3 is equal to 1. Therefore, see here, every pair of vectors forms orthogonal and also each vector in the orthogonal set having the length 1, then we say that S is called as an orthonormal set. What is the definition of the orthonormal set? A orthogonal set in which each vector of length is 1, then the orthogonal set is called as a orthonormal set. To show that it is orthogonal set means a set of vectors S in that we can prove that every pair of vectors are said to be orthogonal. Orthogonal means the dot product will be 0. Every pair of the dot product of the vectors will be 0. Then we say that the set of vectors are said to be orthogonal set. That's why I already proved that one because of in the previous slide. See here, v1 dot v2, v1 dot v3, v2 dot v3 that are all 0. All possible pair of vectors are orthogonal. Then the set S is called as a orthogonal set. In that set, each vector of is of length 1, then the orthogonal set is called as an orthonormal set. Here, finding the norm V1 is equal to 1, norm V2 is equal to 1, norm V3 is equal to 1, then the S is called as an orthonormal set. Now let us discuss one more example regarding polynomial functions. An orthonormal basis for the P3x. In P3x with an inner product can be defined as polynomials. Polynomials can be defined as a0 plus a1x plus a2x square like this. Therefore, the inner product can be defined in the polynomial inner product space is a0 b0 plus a1 b1 plus a2 b2. Now, what is the standard basis of the polynomial? It is a 3 polynomial. Therefore, what is the degree of the polynomial? 3. That means it contains 1x square is the standard basis. That is taken as B. The standard basis of this P3x is taken as 1x square. Now show that it is a orthonormal. Now to show that the standard basis B is equal to 1x square is an orthonormal basis for the P3x. How to show that this one? First, we can define orthonormal basis means first we have to define the orthogonal set. In that set, each vector of length 1, then we say that it is called as a orthonormal set. Now, here what is V1? 1 plus 0x plus 0x square. V2 is equal to 0 plus 0x plus 0x square. So 0 plus 0x plus x square. Because of the basis is given 1x square. For the 1, what is the V1 vector? 1 plus 0x plus 0x square. For x vector, what is the vector? V2 is equal to 0 into 1 plus x into 1 plus 0 into x square. V3. Therefore, 0 into 0 plus 0 into x plus x square. See here, now find the each pair of inner product. V1, V2. These are the three vectors we have to write it in the form of polynomials. V1, V2, V3 because of the standard basis is given 1x square. By using that the standard basis, we write the three vectors V1, V2, V3. See here, V1, V2 is equal to 1 into 0 plus 0 into 1 plus 0 into 0 is equal to 0. V1, V3 equal to 1 into 0 plus 0 into 0 is equal to 0 into 1 that is equal to 0. V2, V3 that is also 0. See here the every pair of vectors in that polynomial set is orthogonal because of every pair of vectors is said to be 0. Then we say that the pair of vectors, the set of vectors in the standard basis forms an orthogonal set. See here, now in this set, Now we have to prove that each of length is 1. Each of length of the vector is 1. Then we say that the vectors forms an orthonormal set. V1, now V1 is equal to square root of V1 V1. That is equal to 1 into 1 plus 0 into 0 plus 0 into 0 is equal to 1. Now V2 is equal to inner product of V2 comma V2. 0 into 0 plus 1 into 1 plus 0 into 0 is equal to 1. Now V3 is equal to inner product of V3 comma V3. That is equal to 0 into 0 plus 0 into 0 plus 1 into 1 is equal to 1. This is the two examples for orthonormal basis. First one is in the form of, second one is in the polynomial set. We take the standard basis 1 x square. We can easily write the orthonormal basis. Now let us discuss the theorem. What is the theorem? Orthogonal sets are linearly independent. They are always linearly independent. How to show that this one? What is the statement? If S is equal to V1, V2, so on, Vn is an orthogonal set of non-zero vectors and inner product space V, then S is linearly independent. S is an orthogonal set of non-zero vectors in an inner product space V, then S is called as a linearly independent set. If S is an orthogonal set of non-zero vectors, then every pair of vectors, already know the definition of the orthogonal set of vectors. That is, the inner product of Vi comma Vj not equal to 0 for every I is not equal to 0. For every I not equal to j, and the inner product of Vi comma Vi is equal to greater than 0. So see here, to prove that it is a linearly independent set, the constant should be 0. For that, we have to show that the orthogonal sets are linearly independent. For that, take the linear combination C1 V1 plus C2 V2 plus so on Cn Vn equal to 0. Therefore, it implies C1 V1 plus C2 V2 plus so on Cn Vn comma Vi is equal to 0 comma Vi. Because of the linear combination should be 0. Here see 0, that substitute here 0 comma Vi, that is equal to 0. See here C1 into, write the all combinations V1 Vi, C2 into V2 Vi plus so on. By the definition of the inner product space, we can separate the all vectors Ci into Vi plus Cn into V1 Vi inner product. Therefore, that is equal to their orthogonal set of vectors means other than I is not equal to j, that will be 0. That's why it is 0, it is 0, it is 0. Only you have remaining is Ci into inner product of Vi comma Vi. See here how to, because of, to prove that it is a linearly independent set. First, what is the definition of the orthogonal set of non-zero vectors? Inner product of Vi comma Vj is equal to 0 when I is not equal to j and Vi comma Vj is greater than 0. See here the linear combination of the n vectors v1, v2, so on vn. That's why c1 v1 plus c2 v2 plus so on cn vn equal to 0. Inner product of c1 v1 plus c2 v2 plus so on cn vn comma vi is equal to, therefore inner the linear combination of all the n vectors is 0. 0 comma vi, that will be 0. So now expand, right side will be the answer is 0. So now expand the left side. Now expand the left side means C1 into V1 Vi, the first vector. C2 into V2 into Vi inner product of Ci into inner product of Vi comma Vi plus so on Cn into Vn comma Vi. That is equal to, because of by the definition of the orthogonal set of vectors, they are not equal, then we say that it is 0. V1 Vi it is 0, V2 Vi is also 0, Vn Vi is also 0. What is the remaining? Ci into inner product of Vi comma Vi. Vi comma Vj not equal to 0. Vi comma Vi, it is not equal to 0. Compulsory Ci must be equal to 0 because of Vi comma Vi inner product means norm Vi whole square. Norm is length of that unit vector square root. Therefore, square of the term linear. Therefore, we can say that the two vectors are said to be non-trivial. The vector set S is called as a linearly independent set. Vi comma Vi not equal to 0, that implies Ci equal to 0 for every I. Therefore, S is linearly independent. Corollary to the above theorem. If V is an inner product space of dimension n, then any orthogonal set of non-zero vectors is a basis for V. V is an inner product space of dimension n, then any orthogonal set of n non-zero vectors is forms a basis for the V vector. V basis V. So mainly you have to remember here, orthogonal sets are linearly independent. We can easily prove by using the definition of the orthogonal set of non-zero vectors, and using the linear combination should be 0 by using the inner product of this one. By the definition of the inner product space and orthogonal set of vectors, we get this one. This is the inner product of Vi comma Vi is norm Vi whole square, that is it is not equal to 0. That is the length of the vector. That's why Ci must be equal to 0 for every I. Then we say that S is called as a linearly independent. That means they form a basis for the vector inner product space V. Because of V is an inner product space of dimension n, then any orthogonal set of n non-zero vectors is forms a basis for V. Now, by using the orthogonal test for basis, we discuss the one more example. Show that the following set is a basis for R to the power of 4. S contains 4 vectors V1, V2, V3, V4. 2, 3, 2, minus 2, 1, 0, 0, 1, minus 1, 0, 2, 1, minus 1, 2, minus 1, 1. V1, V2, V3, V4 are 4 are non-zero vectors. Now, to prove that it is a basis of R to the power of 4, by using the orthogonality to test for a basis, first to define the orthogonality. Orthogonality means every pair of set of vectors forms a orthogonal. V1 dot V2, V1 dot V3, V1 dot V4. See here, 0, v1 dot v2, multiply these two vectors, dot product of these two vectors, it is 0. Dot product of v1 v3 is also 0. Dot product of v1 v4 is also 0. See here, next another combination, v2 dot v3. See here, minus 1 0 0 1, that is 0. V2 dot v4, that is 1 into minus 1 0 0. Last one is 1 into 1, that is minus 1 plus 1 is equal to 0. Next last combination, v3 dot v4, minus 1 into minus 1 plus 1, 0 into 2 is 0, 2 into minus 1 is minus 2, 1 into 1 is 1, 2, 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 minus 2 is 0. All the possible pair of vectors of dot product will be 0. That means the set of vectors S forms a orthogonal set of vectors. Because of every pair of vectors, dot product will be 0 here. So S is said to be orthogonal. By the corollary of this theorem, see here, corollary of this theorem, because it is an inner product of space of n dimension n, then any orthogonal set of n non-zero vectors is a forms a basis for V. So that means any non-zero orthogonal set of vectors forms a basis for V. See here, by orthogonality test here, 4 are non-zero vectors. V1, V2, V3, V4 are non-zero vectors, and the dot product of the all combinations of the space of vectors will be 0. That's why S is orthogonal. Then S forms a basis for the R to the power of 4. Mainly in this topic, we will discuss whether a function defines an inner product or not. Find the inner product of the two vectors in R to the power of n, the matrix space M by n, and polynomial space Pn, and the complex numbers of C, A, comma, B. So therefore, already in the previous lecture, what is the inner product? Some more examples discussed in this examples also, in this lecture also. And mainly we are discuss here is find the orthogonal projection of the vector onto another vector. This is very, very important. The orthogonal projection of u onto a vector V can be represented as projection of u suffix v, that can be is equal to, what is the formula of orthogonal projection of u onto v? Is formula is inner product of u comma v by inner product of v comma v into v. That is called as a orthogonal projection of u onto v. Orthogonal set of vectors. Orthogonal set of vectors means a set of vectors is said to be orthogonal. Every pair of vectors are orthogonal, then the set of vectors is each and every pair should be orthogonal. Then we say that the set of vectors is said to be orthogonal set of vectors. How to it forms a orthonormal basis? Orthonormal basis means the set of vectors is an orthogonal set of vectors, and each of each vector has length 1, then the set is called as a orthonormal set. The basis, the set of vectors is called as a orthonormal basis. Mainly in this topic, we discussed mainly orthogonal set, orthonormal set, orthogonal basis, and orthonormal basis, and linearly independent. So mainly here we have to discuss in this lecture orthogonal set. Orthogonal set means a set of vectors forms an orthogonal set in which each and every pair of vectors should be orthogonal. That means the dot product of the two vectors will be 0. Then we say that the set of vectors forms a orthogonal set of vectors. Next one more is orthonormal set. Orthonormal set means a set of vectors is an orthogonal set of vectors, and each vector in the orthogonal set should be length 1. Then we say that set is called as an orthonormal set. They form a non-zero orthogonal set of vectors forms a orthogonal basis. Orthogonal basis forms a orthonormal basis. Each vector in that orthogonal basis, each vector has length 1. Then it is also forms a orthonormal basis. Linearly independent. Linearly independent means compulsory they have the linear combination, each and every constant should be 0. Then the set of vectors should be linearly independent. These are the topics we covered today. Thank you.